When Jesse Minter decided to speak about Lamar Jackson, nobody expected his words to create this much buzz. The Ravens' new head coach went straight to the point and made a statement that quickly caught the attention of the entire NFL. And I'll be honest, when I saw what he said, I immediately understood why so many fans started talking about this situation. What makes this story even more interesting is that this goes way beyond a simple ranking. Minter's comments reveal how he truly views Lamar, show how the quarterback reacted to all this controversy, and raise a question that could define the Ravens' upcoming season. What's up, Flock? My name is Tiago. I'm a Brazilian Ravens fan, and welcome back to Purple Flock TV. Imagine opening a list of the best players in the NFL and seeing Lamar Jackson, one of the most electric quarterbacks in football today, ranked all the way down at number 69. That's what happened in this year's NFL Top 100 ranking, a list voted on by the players themselves. As soon as the ranking was released, reactions started coming from everywhere. Fans, analysts, and even players were trying to understand how someone with Lamar's resume ended up so far away from the top spots. And I'll be honest, when I saw this ranking, my first reaction was surprise. We're talking about a player who's already won multiple MVP awards, an achievement reserved for athletes who dominate the league at the highest level. Lamar isn't just another talented quarterback. He changed the way many people see the position, combining speed, creativity, and the ability to make game-changing plays when his team needs him the most. Of course, last season wasn't perfect. Lamar dealt with some injuries, and the Ravens ended up missing the playoffs. In rankings like this, the most recent season often carries a lot of weight, and sometimes recent results overshadow everything a player has built throughout his career. Even so, when you look at everything Lamar has accomplished on the field, it's hard not to question if this ranking truly represents the level of player we're talking about. And the most interesting part is that this conversation didn't stay between fans and analysts. Inside the Ravens organization, people were paying attention too. The team's new head coach, Jesse Minter, decided to speak publicly about the situation and made his opinion very clear. In one of the comments that received the most attention, he said, "There may not even be one other player in the league better than Lamar, let alone 68 players better than him." And from there, this story took a new direction because Minter decided to bring that conversation directly to his quarterback. After the ranking was released, many people expected Lamar Jackson to simply ignore the situation. After all, players at his level usually say they don't care about lists or outside opinions. But inside the Ravens organization, things took a different direction. Jesse Minter, who recently took over as head coach, decided to reach out to his quarterback and talk about a ranking that had created so much discussion. According to Minter himself, he sent Lamar a message, and the two had an interesting back and forth about the situation. The full details of their conversation were never revealed, but Minter made it clear that he sees things very differently from many of the people who voted on the list. In his opinion, the ranking doesn't reflect the talent or the history of the player he is leading his offense. One of the comments that stood out the most came when the coach said, "There may not even be one other player in the league better than Lamar, let alone 68 players better than him." And I have to admit, that quote shows just how much confidence Minter has in his quarterback. This isn't a coach simply defending his player in front of the cameras. This is someone who just arrived in Baltimore and quickly made it clear who he believes is the biggest difference maker on this team. The most interesting part is that Minter doesn't seem to view this controversy as a problem. Instead, he appears to see it as an opportunity. Many coaches look for ways to keep their players motivated throughout the season, and a situation like this can become extra fuel. The big question now is, how did Lamar Jackson actually react to all of this? The answer reveals a lot about the quarterback's mindset and what truly matters to him at this point in his career. When an athlete receives an evaluation they believe is unfair, there are many different ways to respond. Some players take to social media. Others criticize the ranking publicly or turn the situation into a personal battle. But according to Jesse Minter, Lamar Jackson's reaction appears to be very different. Based on what the coach shared, Lamar doesn't seem to be losing sleep over where he landed on the list. Minter explained that he knows Lamar's personality well and believes the quarterback is focused on much bigger goals. During an appearance on the Lounge podcast, the coach said, "I know Lamar. I don't think he worries about that. I think he wants to win. I think he wants to win big." I think he wants to get back. That final part stands out because it shows where Lamar's true motivation is coming from. When we look back at what happened last season, it's easy to understand why he feels that way. The Ravens missed the playoffs after a painful loss against the Steelers in the final week of the regular season. In a game decided by small details, Baltimore watched its playoff hopes disappear in the closing seconds. For a competitor like Lamar Jackson, that type of ending probably hurts much more than any ranking position ever could. That's why I believe the top 100 ranking became only a small part of a much bigger story. While people are debating numbers and rankings, Lamar appears focused on getting the Ravens back into a group of teams fighting for a championship. And that goal becomes even more important when we look at the changes happening around the franchise right now. The Ravens are entering the upcoming season with several important changes. Along with Jesse Minter taking over as head coach, the team is also starting a new chapter on offense with Declan Doyle stepping in as offensive coordinator. When a franchise changes such important pieces of its coaching staff, natural questions come up about adjustments, leadership, and how the system will work on the field. Many fans are curious to see what the partnership between Lamar Jackson and the new offensive staff will look like. Quarterbacks usually build strong relationships with their coaches and offensive coordinators. The better the connection between those people, the better the chances of success usually become. And when we're talking about a quarterback with Lamar's unique skill set, that chemistry becomes even more important. At least publicly, Jesse Minter has shown a lot of confidence in this process. The coach said Lamar Jackson and Declan Doyle have already built a positive working relationship. According to him, there is a strong partnership between the two, based on learning from each other and constantly exchanging ideas. For a team trying to return to the top of the AFC, that type of connection could become a major factor throughout the season. But not everything is about what happens on the field. There's another situation behind the scenes that continues to draw attention and could impact the future of the franchise in the years ahead. While Baltimore tries to build a championship-caliber team, an important contract situation remains unresolved, creating questions about what could happen with the biggest star on the roster.
If you're enjoying this breakdown, smash that like button to help the purple flock grow.
Beyond the expectations on the field, Lamar Jackson enters this season with questions surrounding his contract future. Recent reports indicate that there is still no close agreement on a contract extension with the Ravens. While that doesn't automatically mean there is an immediate problem, it remains a topic closely followed by fans, team executives, and NFL analysts. When a player of Lamar's importance enters a season without a completely settled contract situation, every result receives even more attention. A great season could strengthen future negotiations. A disappointing performance could create even more questions. That's why the pressure on Lamar isn't only about winning games for the Ravens, but also about the role he will continue to have within the organization. Even with all of that happening, Jesse Minter delivered a simple and direct message to his quarterback. The coach said, "For Lamar, just be the best version of yourself. You've proven over time that the best version is the best player in the league." And I personally think that quote perfectly explains how Minter views his star quarterback. He isn't asking Lamar to become someone else. The mission is simply to return to the level he has already shown many times throughout his career. And maybe that's why this entire situation has received so much attention. The ranking placed Lamar Jackson at number 69. His critics see a player who needs to prove himself again. His coach sees someone who is still capable of taking over the NFL. Now the question is which version of Lamar Jackson we will see when the new season begins. And if there is one thing Lamar has already proven throughout his career, it's that counting him out is usually a risky decision. What stood out to me the most about this situation was Jesse Minter's confidence in Lamar Jackson. At a time when many people are questioning the quarterback because of a ranking, the Ravens' new head coach made sure everyone knew how much he believes in the player he is leading this team. And in my opinion, that type of support can make a huge difference for someone entering a season with so much pressure. Lamar has already shown many times the type of player he can be when he is playing at his highest level. Now, with a new coaching staff and new challenges ahead, he has the opportunity to respond the best way possible on the field. To me, that's the most interesting part of this entire story. It's not about one position on a list. It's about how Lamar Jackson uses all of this as motivation. And you, Flock, what do you think? Was Lamar Jackson disrespected by being ranked only 69th on the NFL Top 100? Or do you believe the ranking was fair based on what he showed last season? Leave your opinion in the comments, because I want to know how Ravens fans are seeing the situation.
And if you're a true Ravens fan and love keeping up with everything happening around the team, don't leave this video without sharing it with a friend who's just as passionate. They're definitely going to enjoy this. See those videos on your screen right now? I picked the first one especially for you, and the other is recommended by YouTube. Go check them out, and I'll see you in the next video.